So Mike O'Hearn has a nickname for Greg Doucette, and that is the Hobbit. What's up, everyone? This is Christian Duke. You're watching Strength Addicts on all social media platforms, powered by TitanMedicalCenter.com, your go-to source for all the amazing therapies, #1 in patient care, and Amazon's Fit Mag, celebrate the female physique. What is this obsession with Mike O'Hearn being natty or not? I mean, and Greg saying that he's an IFBB pro and that Mike isn't even a pro. Mike is a pro. Mike is a pro, and he's a Mr. Universe winner, a multi-year Mr. Universe winner. But there's more. He is a pro and a Mr. Universe in one of the most stringently tested natural federations in the world. But yet, so many people doubt that he's natty. So he takes a urine test, a polygraph test, maybe a blood test. They're still unconvinced that he's natty. And why is that? Why is it so hard to believe that a guy that wakes up at 4 a.m. religiously and trains and eats the bodybuilding meals religiously and has been doing this for decades, why is it so hard to believe that there can be one or two or a handful of men and women that have great genetics, ironclad work ethic, consistency, and look the way they do? Why do they have to be on something? Now, Greg says that he's been asking for Mike's blood work and Mike hasn't given it to him. Why would Mike give him his blood work? Greg, you have a YouTube channel and a great one, and your voice is a little high-pitched. It's fine. In the 80s, you'd have made a hell of a hair metal singer, but where do you get the audacity to ask him for his blood work? You don't that is such an overstep. I get that you're obsessed, like a lot of people, with whether or not he's natty, but where do you get the audacity to ask him or anybody for their blood work? It is such an intrusion on someone's privacy. And, he doesn't need to prove anything to you. He's not calling you the Hobbit because he's just dead set on you recognizing him as a natty. He's just probably frustrated because, like you pointed out, you've got nearly 2 million subs or getting 2 million views. I forget what you said, but you get a lot of views, okay? No one's taking that away from you. And you're very good at what you do. But your obsession with this guy has created a sentiment that he really honestly is undeserving of. He's a guy that helps so many people, is part of so many charities, is so good to the fans at these expos. He is probably one of the most well-liked people in the fitness industry. He's up there with Jay Cutler. No lie. Seriously. And here you are, raising questions about his character because in your mind, you are convinced that he is taking exogenous hormones and that because he won't admit to something that may not be true, you have taken to attacking him endlessly, directly and indirectly on your videos. And so have others trying to get clout. Now, you don't necessarily need the clout at this point, but I think you would agree that if you didn't make videos like you do, kind of like what you do, you might not have what you have. Because part of what you do is calling people out, pissing people off, you know what I mean? That's kind of like your thing. And you don't do it to unknown people. You do it to people that have big followings, supplement lines with pictures of themselves on their protein products. And so some might say that, that raises questions about your character. But I'm not here to do that. I like Mike. I've met Mike. I've spoken to Mike. I love Mona. I love that they have a great family. I love that they're good role models. And I have personally seen all the good that they have done. And you want to make one video or 2 videos. You want to say he's not natty. You want to say why you don't think he's natty. You want to say you want to bring up his age and you want to bring up his I don't know, shoulder to waist ratio, whatever. You want to talk about the price of rice in China? Knock yourself out. 1 or 2 videos. But how many videos have you done about Mike O'Hearn? I don't even want to look because I'm scared to count. I'm going to guess you've probably done more than half a dozen. I'm guessing you've done so many videos and mentioned his name so many times that it has prompted him to call you the Hobbit. Not because he's a negative person, but because how many times are you going to, like, you know, again, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like, you know, everybody has a breaking point. You know what I mean? And I think after this video, I think I'm gonna actually go look. I don't want to look and then make the video because I don't want to like have a bias more so than I already have. But and I do like your work. I mean, you've done some good stuff. You are a pro. I think that's great. I think you've done a couple pro shows. I think you placed like top 5 or something. Your classic, which is a great division, and you have a great physique. But I'm scared to look how many, like, is it 10? If you've made 10 videos that are in any way, shape, or form about Mike O'Hearn, then I would say you have a problem. I mean, I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm not a, you know, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychiatrist or anything like that. I'm certainly not going to ask you to provide me with any diagnostic cognitive tests like you're asking Mike to provide you with blood work. But, you know, if you've made more than 10 videos about Mike O'Hearn, that's probably why he called you the Hobbit.